quite loud. So, oops. I'm also gonna go ahead and check the stream audio too. Wow, that is very quiet. It's got me quiet. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can't fix the mic really quick. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that all the way up. Go to properties. And just turn this all the way up. Alrighty. I'll turn the gain up as well on the mic itself. There we go. Okay. Oops. I'm gonna go this all the way up. Is the gain up? Okay, the gain is up. Now I have to turn down this music a little bit. Alrighty. Now let me check the audio again. This all the way up. Alrighty. I'll turn the gain up as well on the mic itself. There we go. Okay. Oh wow. Yeah, having audio glitches at the start of a stream is not uncommon. Okay. So for this stream, we're going to be doing a render of a charcoal drawing, specifically an eye in charcoal. And I've already got a layout sketch. I've already got it all mapped out and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to my front camera so that you guys can see what I'm doing. So let's go back to the studio mode. I'll go here. And we'll go ahead and transition that. Alrighty. So we've got the sketch itself laid in, and I'm just gonna go ahead and go over the sketch in charcoal, and we're gonna do a couple passes from lights to darks. So yeah, this will be fun. I'm actually going to go ahead and to establish contrast, I'm going to go and lay in the darks first. So I'm laying in some darks here just to establish some tone. And then I'll add some lighter values as well for extra context. There we go. And we'll go ahead and add some mid-tone values up in here like this. And some darks to pull it out a little bit. Alrighty, so there's a looser way to draw a charcoal. You can draw with the end of it and kind of get a block in through with the end of your charcoal. I've done that before. I actually have a drawing in the sketchbook where I did that. But this approach is just using an underdrawing. This one. Excuse me. And we will pull out some of the context here with some darks. Whoops, okay. Be careful about your paper when you are drawing. And I am going to pull out this this pupil and iris. There. Okay. So I'll lay in some more darks there. Pulling out some more details back here. And maybe I'll add a little bit of detail as well here. So this is going to be a little bit of an extra tear duct. And we'll go ahead and fill that in. Like so. Alrighty, let's take a look here. So, I'm currently laying in some more dark so I can pull this area out a little bit. And some lights up here to add more context to what I'm doing down here, so that way you can see it better. And I'm also going to add some like wisps down here a little bit. And we're going to just kind of lay that in. And then you kind of get that smoke effect with these charcoal sticks here that you see in a lot of charcoal drawings. And you do that by just kind of going in circles like this, and those wisps of smoke there. Alrighty. So these wisps of smoke add a lot of context to the actual drawing itself. There's a purpose to it. To these little wisps of smoke here, there is a purpose to it. Because that vignette is called a vignette, and what that vignette does is it kind of makes the actual drawing itself pop out a bit more, and it establishes more context. And context is very important, especially if you're trying to put it in like a gallery or something, because the viewers of your drawing need to know what it is, right? So that vignette just adds a little bit of extra context, added context to it. And I'm going to add some more of these little wisps with that charcoal, like so. Alrighty. And I think, wow, that rendering process went way quicker than I expected it to. But, alright, I'm going to go ahead and check the stream audio. Yeah, it's very hard to hear. Hold on. I'm going to turn up the gain on this even more, all the way to max there. Because this mic is very quiet. It has a very quiet nature. This microphone does have a very quiet nature, so it's hard to hear. may... Well, yeah, that is very quiet. Okay, I may have to switch mics really quickly. 1 second. So, excuse me. We learned that going dark is not bad. Going dark, especially in charcoal, is important because it helps you establish those lights. And we also learned that white space, too much white space, can be not a good thing because it destroys the drawing sometimes. But you can use the white space in your drawing to pull out highlights if you want. I mean, there's a plethora of methods that you can use, and it's not limited to just one method. And it really depends on the medium that you really like and the medium that you enjoy using the most. So for me, it's between dry. I tend to gravitate towards dry mediums, but I also really enjoy the process of wet mediums. I really like. I really like graphite and charcoal, but I also like watercolors. I would consider myself a watercolorist to an extent. I also like gouache. I really want to get more into gouache painting. And I've got some oils actually somewhere in my art supplies. I've got some oils. Oils are always great. The way they move, the way the oils move on the paper is so smooth. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, it's very, very smooth when it moves on the paper. Watercolor is very difficult though because you have to really watch out for your water consistency. How else to describe it? Like, it's very, very smooth when it. Okay, audio's good, but I would absolutely recommend if you're wanting to get into watercolors, water consistency is important, especially depending on your paper weight. Whatever your paper weight is, if it can handle a lot of water or if it can't. Water control is important to understand because that'll tell you how much water you can use and how many washes that you have available to you. Yeah, that's watercolors. Watercolors are really fun, but because of the way the water reacts on the paper, it can be hard to control the edges of watercolor, in particular. And your edge control is very important with watercolor in the way that you design your shapes because that water can seep into other shapes, and you can get a mix of colors that maybe you don't want. But if you're a master, excuse me, you might actually want that in your painting, right? Because it gives you that randomness of what you might not have been able to make that stroke, right? Because the randomness is just so much that you may not have had the forethought about making that stroke, but you make that stroke because watercolor, the way the water is, and it can drip and all that stuff, and the environment of watercolor is really interesting. It's just really cool to do. But I would say absolutely, like, focus on water control and consistency. So thick versus thin. How thick do you want? Also thick versus thin. How thick do you want your paint, and how thin do you want your paint? Thinner, I think, is more water. Thicker is like less of a wash, more of a more damp than like soaking. But like if you wanted to wash, just like dunk it in there to an extent. Be very, very careful when you do that though, because you get a lot of water on it, and it's a balancing act between tight control and loose control. Tight, like tight being like very little water, and loose being like lots of water. And that's the nature of watercolor, is that not everything has to be a wash either in watercolor. In fact, sometimes it's better when it's not as a wash. You'll see in some of the watercolor paintings that I've done actually in my sketchbook, on this live stream right now that you're seeing, I actually, oh, 1 second, I actually didn't use that much water, but I will be right back.